Hello, good morning everyone, and welcome to the final session of this, or the final morning session of this 2 weeks live trading session. Due to the interrupted sessions we had this week, we'll be doing an extra week of this live sessions next week, just to make up for the missed webinars we've had this week. So I will send out webinar invitations for an extra live trading session week from next week. So we'll trade together next week just to compensate for the missed webinars we had this week. So I'll send you all out the invitations later on, and we'll trade again together next week. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on today. So as usual, we start off with the economic calendar and see what's going on in the markets, or what reports are due out. So today is Friday, the 3rd of October, and today is the big one today. We have the US unemployment figures coming out at 1:30 p.m. GMT plus 1. So at 1:30 p.m. GMT plus 1, we have the US unemployment figures, or popularly called the US non-farm payrolls. It's called non-farm payrolls because they exclude the farmers' data in collating the unemployment rate in USA. So that's why it's called non-farm payroll. So it just means the farmers are not included in the statistic. So that comes out today at 1:30. This is a report of huge importance. It affects all markets across the board, the equities market, commodities, bond market, and currency markets, and all currency pairs. It affects all markets across the board. So it's a report of mega importance, and it comes out on the first Friday of every month. So again, everybody knows when it comes out because it comes out, on a regular basis, right on time, first Friday of every month. So there's an extremely high probability of the market trending sideways prior to 1:30 p.m. GMT today, or GMT plus 1. So we're going to meet again at about 1:25 to get ready for that report. So I'll send out a webinar invitation for that. So we'll meet at 1:25 to get ready for that report coming out at 1:30. Although we have other reports of high importance due out today, because the last report of high importance is actually the US ISM non-manufacturing report due out at 3 p.m. GMT plus 1. So that's the actual last report of high importance today, but as we know, we can't afford to wait till 3 p.m. today because the unemployment report is almost, you can't say never or always when it comes to the financial markets. The words never or always does not apply to the financial markets, but there's a high probability the markets will move at 1:30 when the unemployment reports come out because of the huge importance. So we will certainly not be waiting till 3 p.m. Before we place our first trade, and we'll certainly be trading or getting ready to trade just before the unemployment report at 1:30 p.m. GMT plus 1. Okay, so let's have a look at the charts. So looking at the Euro-US dollar, we can see that the market is currently trending sideways and marked out the sideways trend with the two white lines, as we all know now that I use the white lines to mark out my sideways trend. And that's the low of the sideways trend, that's the high, those two white lines. And you can see that the pivot point and the first support are within the sideways trend. The first resistance is outside the sideways trend. But if you actually look at the sideways trend here, the market formed the low point there. The low there is 1.2613, and the low there is 1.2614. So it's just a pip difference between the two lows there. And as we know, once the low there and the low there, if they're within plus or minus 2 pips of each other, you say market support has formed. So you can see the market has fallen, formed the low point, then went back up, and came back down again, formed the low point there, which was within plus or minus 2 pips from that low, and then went back up. So you can say the market has formed a market support there. So that's market support. I'll just mark that. So that's the market support. Let's make that a bit bigger. Okay, so that's the market support. There we go. So the market has formed the market support. So potentially we could use that to trade when the reports come out. So we've now identified the market itself has formed a market support. Obviously we're going to ignore the first support with the pivot point strategy. So with the pivot points, the first support and pivot point are within the sideways trend, so we're just going to avoid them. We can't use them to trade. Luckily the first resistance is outside the sideways trend, and the market itself has formed the market support. So potentially if the market continues trending sideways prior to the report coming out, potentially we could be selling below the market support and buying just above the market the pivot point first resistance at 130. But we'll see. But at the moment we're going to keep out of the market. We're not going to place any pending orders. We're just going to keep out of the markets, leave the markets alone, and we'll meet, like I say, at 125, and I'll send you out a webinar invitation shortly for us to meet at 125. Any questions? If you have any questions, do click the hand button or send your questions through the question box. Like I said, apologies again for the missed webinars we've had this week, and like I said, to make up for the missed webinars this week, we're going to have an extra week of live trading sessions. So we're going to have an extra week of trading together. So we'll be trading again for the whole of next week together, just to make up for the missed webinars this week. Any questions, comments before I let you all go for breakfast? No questions? Great. Okay, so have a good breakfast. Like I say, keep out of the markets, just find something else to do, and we'll meet again at 125. Take care.